In this video, I'm going to teach you how to fit your breast flange properly. Trust me, this is a game changer for your breast pumping journey. Before we dive into it, let's quickly talk about why fitting your breast flange properly is so important. Using the correct flange size can significantly impact your milk supply. It can prevent discomfort and it can ensure efficient milk expression. It is crucial to get your flange size right. And unfortunately, many times they only send 2 sizes with your breast pump, and those 2 sizes tend to be way too large for most women. It's really important for your milk output and for all the hard work you're doing when it comes to breast pumping that your flange is actually sized correctly. It will help prevent any pain and discomfort and will help increase your milk output for your baby. When I talk about the breast flange, I mean this little part of your breast pump, the part that you actually fit your nipple into for breast pumping. Every mom is unique, and so is her breasts. Breast flange sizes come in different diameters, so you need to find one that fits you best. Remember that poor fit can lead to soreness and even reduce milk output. Now, there's different ways for you to figure out your flange size, and a lot of them involve creating little rulers and using pieces of paper. But I actually found a way that's even easier for you and really leaves little room for error. So I have this little handy ruler, and I will link it down in the description box below for you. This is my little secret. So you can see there's different circles on the ruler, and all you're going to do is put your nipple into whichever circle it fits around best. So that's how you're going to really figure out your flange size. So I'll use my breast model, and I'm going to try and see which one the nipple fits into best. And a misconception for a lot of moms out there is that there should not be any areola going into the pump. So when we talk about actually breastfeeding baby on breast, a lot of times we say it's good for them to get a nice wide open mouth and to latch around the areola. But when it actually comes to breast pumping, you really don't want any of your areola, which is the area surrounding your nipple, pulled into the pump. You really just want your nipple pulled into the pump, and that will give you the best milk output because the pump could pinch off some of the milk ducts, which are around the areola area, and it's just better for it to be a more snug fit when it comes to breast pumping. So you really just want to go off of which size fits the nipple best. So this one is a 20, and it's a little bit big because it's still pulling some of the areola into it. So I would say that this breast model fits best in an 18 or even a 16. That way it will not pull any areola into it, and it gives it a nice snug fit, but you want to be able to fully fit the nipple in. So I would say for this model, it would be an 18. So you're going to get this ruler and you're going to do the same thing on your own chest to figure out what flange size you are. And I'm sorry that I have to blur my model because YouTube gives strikes against any breasts being seen on the channel, any nipple showing, if it's deemed to be female, which is ridiculous, but we have to follow YouTube's policies. So I hope you can see what I mean, even though there's a little blur on this model. Even though it's a medical model, they still give strikes. So I think it's ridiculous, but that is why I had to do this. So hopefully you can see what I mean. You're gonna just see which circle fits your nipple best without any areola going into the pump. I have some other great tips for you when it comes to using your breast flange. Once you figure out the proper size, many women, again, their flange size is actually smaller than what comes with the pump and what they think. It's just the nipple that's being pulled into that flange. You don't want any of the surrounding tissue or the areola being pinched or pulled into that flange. Again, it's different from when you're breastfeeding baby on the breast, because when you're breastfeeding baby, they get that wide open, nice latch, and that's really good for breastfeeding on the breast and getting some of that areola, but not so much when you're using the breast pump. You really just want the nipple pulled into the flange. So I have some more tips for you. Positioning matters once you find your correct flange size. You're gonna wanna align the flange with your nipple, ensuring that your nipple is centered in the tunnel. So you don't want your nipple being pulled up and being pinched. You want the flange to encapsulate the entire nipple, and you want it to be pulled in straight on. This creates a more comfortable and efficient suction, which results in better milk output. Another tip I have for you goes along with that air tightness. Airtight seal is key. Once you position the flange correctly, you're going to want to gently press it against your breast. You're going to want to make sure that it's held there nice and tight so there's no air leakage around it. Ensure that there's no gaps or air leaks between the flange and your skin. An airtight seal guarantees optimal suction, which again leads to better milk flow. So a lot of moms struggle with the wearable pumps because they don't really get that nice airtight seal. So again, whatever pump you're using, I really love the Spectra. From my own personal experience, it's what I've used for both my children to create a freezer stash. That's my favorite pump. You have to make sure that you have a nice airtight seal and it's being held properly up against the breast with no air leakage. And I have another tip for you when it comes for comfort in breast pumping. Comfort really is everything. Whether you're exclusively pumping or you're just trying to build up a freezer stash for whenever you might be away from baby, it is really important that you're comfortable because you're dedicating a ton of time to this. And it's hard work. Remember, breastfeeding and breast pumping should never be painful. If you feel any discomfort or pain while pumping, it's a sign that your flange might not be the right size. And a tip I have for you is to lubricate the nipple before placing it into the pump. You can use baby-safe nipple creams and butters, which I'll link down in the description box below for you. Apply those to your nipple first before inserting into the pump. It can really help with any discomfort and help get used to it, especially in the beginning. And don't hesitate to experiment again with different flange sizes until you find one that works best for you. And keep in mind, typically flange size is much smaller than what they send out in the boxes. You will know right away because it should not hurt when you're pumping. So to recap, you're going to want to choose the right flange size, and I linked that little tool down in the description box below for you to help figure it out. You're also going to want to make sure it's positioned correctly, which is your nipple centered in the flange. You're going to want to ensure that airtight seal, that it's held snugly up against your skin and your chest so there's no air leakage. And you're going to want to prioritize your comfort throughout the entire pumping process, whether you need to use nipple creams and balms or in between pumping sessions. If you want to use some Soothies or cooling gel pads, which I absolutely love in between sessions until you get used to this process, I'll link them in the description box below for you as well. By following all of these steps, you will be well on your way to a successful breast pumping journey. Until next time, happy pumping and take care of yourselves. You're doing an incredible job. Thanks so much for your time today, and I'll see you in the next video.